I'm going to be getting under there in a minute. I'm going to get my other light, my construction light out and stuff. And remember, I'm going to be hooking up this drain to the existing garbage disposal. I'm not going to use an air gap because I don't have an air gap on top of the counter. We decided and we told the guys not to drill a hole for us when they installed the new counter, okay? And here, they tell you how to do it. See? To prevent backflow from models without the air gap, secure the drain hose to the sidewall of the kitchen cabinet using cable ties or other fixtures. Make sure the drain hose is high, at least 10 inches from the sink connector. And see, they just have this connected to a sink. If you didn't have a garbage disposal, you could put a connector on there on the end that comes out, and then you can attach that to the side of the sink. Well, we've got that garbage disposal, and they say 10 inches. And I don't know if I have. If I have 10 inches from there up to the counter. If I don't, I'll just have to get it up as high as I can, that's all. And I'm gonna see. Okay, I can measure all the way up. All the way up. I got, wow. It's close. It's like 10. No, it's 11 and a half maybe. Measure that way, it's about 11 inches. So see, as I attach that, they didn't put a loop in theirs, did they? I told you to put a loop in it, but see, they just have it coming up and back down. That kind of allows for the air because when this drain, you got to realize when the drain starts emptying out, it's not going to fill up this whole thing, especially if you got it up higher than the outlet and then going back down. Some of this, you're going to have a little bit of trapped air in there, and that's going to keep this draining nice. So, you know, as I install that, I've got to think about that, and I've got to push that up as high as I can and somehow tie it up there with a zip tie or with one of my little ties, and maybe I can attach it to one of the existing pipes that are coming down from the sink faucet, let's say, you know, well, up there. And that's probably what I'm going to have to do, huh? Because it's going to be, I'm not going to be able to get back in there and put a screw in there up high enough because I've got the sinks in my way. Okay, I'll figure out something. I'll get up there as high as I can. And I'm hoping to have enough of this to where I can put a loop in it too. That'll actually help, I think, even if I can't get it all the way up to 10 and a half, 11 inches, or 10-inch minimum. You see what I mean? I'll just have to see, okay? So that's going to be my next step. And before I do that, I've got to make sure to knock this out. The knockout inside the garbage disposal, because that's a brand new garbage disposal, okay? Make sure you knock that out before you install your dishwasher drain to it, okay? And they have that knockout in there because sometimes you may not hook that up here, especially if you don't have a dishwasher. Some condos, apartment complexes, duplexes, and that sort of thing, maybe they don't have a dishwasher, but you want a garbage disposal. You can do that. Just leave the knockout in there. Okay? Remember that. Okay, the first thing I gotta do before I do anything is I want to make sure this end is the right size for this. And see, that slips on rather nicely. I think, you know, technically, should it be this next one? It probably should, but I think I could get that on there nice and tight. I don't know. The water goes through there. I don't want that to be coming off. And so I'm gonna make a decision whether or not to cut this first bit off or not. I kind of think I should. It fits on that easy, right? Probably shouldn't be like that. It probably should be the next one, and then it should be a little bit snug to get on there. Okay, I think I need to cut that end off. Okay, you got to be careful with this. You don't want to cut your finger or anything. And I'm just using my sheetrock knife as a saw, and then I can kind of turn this a little bit as I go, see? Can you imagine if I cut off too much of this? You know, the next one down. That's why you got to read those directions, okay? So that first part that I just cut off was the 1 inch. And I'm wondering, you see that lip there? I probably should cut that little lip off. Okay, that's what I should do. Okay, that's the lip between the 1 inch and the 7/8 piece. Okay, now cross my fingers that this sucker's gonna fit. I think it will. I know it will. Worst case scenario, I get a little spin on there, hold my mouth just right, and all that. I'm just going to take this and cut it. Last thing I want is for that to get around a bird's leg or their neck or something like that at the dump, let's say. Alright, now it's time to make sure that that's going to fit up in there before I do anything else, right? Oh, track your blade there for safety. Okay, I have not checked this out yet. I don't like to check things out without you seeing it too for the first time, so that I can double check everything. And you know, boy, that's going to be tough. That is going to be tough. Honestly, I wonder if I should have done that. Let's see. Yeah, I think yeah, that's going to go. That'll go. Okay, I don't want to do that yet. I've got a clamp that goes on there. I've got to find my clamp, and I don't want to put that on just yet, remember? But I'm gonna, there's a few things I got to do before I put that on. But see, one thing is I want to make sure I get the clamp on there, and maybe I'll have it facing up so that I can reach it nice and easily. Okay, so I know it's going to go up. I might just leave that clamp on there to remind me, right? And I don't want to just put that on right now. I've got to knock that cap out of there now, right? And then before I put this in, I have to rearrange this and loop it up and stick it way up high, way up in there, as high as I can go. And I think I can attach it to one of the wires coming down, the lines coming down from the sink faucet, those pipes, and I'll use a couple of my little ties to do that. But my next thing is to knock that out of there. You know, I don't know if you're going to see it all, but we'll try it. I've just got my crummy screwdriver. I'm going to hold it there and tap on here. There we go. Oh, you gotta hit it a little bit, and that folds over, and then you wanna get it out of there. And I'll reach in from the top and pull her out. That's my next step. Yeah. Well, I reached in there, and there it is. There's my bit that was inside of there, and I think it's all clear now. Okay, gotta remember to do that. If you don't do that the first time you run your dishwasher, it's going to, the water's going to want to go somewhere. And generally, if you have a an air gap on top of your counter, water's going to come pouring out of that. Some of it's going to go on the countertop, some of it's going to go down on the floor, and all that. But if you don't have an air gap and you just connect this pipe in there, where's the water going to go? I have no idea. It would probably try to start dumping it out there, and then maybe the dishwasher would stop, because once it came up the drain and went into that, it's not going to go anywhere, is it? Okay? And so, one very important reason why you need to read those directions. All right, now I'm going to have to get down there on my back, and I'm going to put my little knee pad in there and see what I can do about arranging that up there and all that, and then making sure I got enough room for this in the end. Okay, that's my next step. Okay, I got her. I had to push that in there like that. That's kind of a tight turn there, but I had to do that in order to lift it all the way up high so that I could tie it way up there. And so see that this line way up there, it's all the way up, and then it comes swooping on down to here. So the top of that drain line is over 10 inches higher than this location. So when this dishwasher drains, that water's got to go up. That's got to go 10 inches above this, and then it allows some air in there. As the water's coming down, you get a little air in there, and that's how you can do an air gap for your dishwasher without the actual air gap on the counter. Okay, and I put that in there, tighten that with a screwdriver, and then you can see it's got a nut size on it, and then I used my crescent and reached up in there and you know, just went in there this way, like that. You can't really see that, can you? I don't know what happened here. Sorry about that. Okay. Then you can just get your wrench in there sideways instead of your screwdriver, you know, and tighten it up that way, all the way. Okay, that sucker's on there nice and tight. Had I've used the 1 inch, it would have, it might have still worked, but it's best to get it on there nice and snug, because you don't want any ripples in there as you're tightening that up. That's never going to leak. And see, it's up in there, and it goes way up there and swoops on down. Okay, all right, so far so good. Now what am I going to do? Well, I'm going to take my water, and that's the next thing I'm going to connect. And I have a separate water feed right here. See, they teed it off of here. This side is for the sink faucet, this side is for the dishwasher, and I like how they've got two there, because sometimes you only have one, and then you may have on the end of a valve, you might have two spigots coming out at a 45 or something. So if you turn off the dishwasher, then that means you got to turn off the hot water to the sink. And yes, you've got to connect this up to the hot water side, they say, not the cold water side. Okay, I'm going to take this and I'm going to reroute this however I have to. And see, there's no Teflon tape on that. I'm wondering if I should put some. I might put it on there. And in order to be able to be easier, I can unscrew the handle, okay, and just pop that off, and then I can put some tape around there, and then I'll lift this up and loop it or do something and get it up out of there. So just so it looks halfway decent for my connection, okay? All right, that's my next step. And remember how we do the Teflon tape. Think about it as you're putting it on so that you put it on in the right direction.